Well, hi knitters. I just wanted to pop in today and say a quick hello and see how everyone's doing. I hope you're doing well. Things are going great here. It's still really cold. It has not warmed up. We've had a little snow. We've had rain. It's in the 30s today. And it's getting toward the end of March. So we're all anxious for a little bit of spring here in Wisconsin. We need a little bit of a break here. So I want to just jump in and talk about some fun things that I have going on and share some fun things I picked up while I was on the road teaching and just check in generally. So I was going to start, I had the last podcast I did, I shared a bag that was sewn by Susan, Nuts for Crafting. She gave it to me in Minneapolis when I was teaching at Stephen B's a couple weeks ago. And I forgot to mention that my dear friend Heather, who's been on the Itty Bitty Knits group for a long time, and I just have wanted to meet her so much in person, and it hasn't worked out a couple times, so I was thrilled she could make it. She brought me this adorable project bag, and it's kind of that wax-covered fabric. It's really wonderful. It zips open. I just love it. It's a great little project, notions pouch, I should say, to throw in your project bag. But I wanted to thank Heather for that. She also gave me this adorable shawl pin. It's like a blue bead, and it's wrapped with wire, and I love it because I wear my shawls all the time. So I'll put it right there for today. I'm wearing my Prairie Ridge shawl that I designed for Infinite Twist. The pattern's now available in my Ravelry pattern shop, and Kate Carter of Infinite Twist still has kits available and sells the kits on her website. It's a wonderful women's cooperative program in China that she does, and they make these beautiful hand-spun yarns. So please go to infinitetwist.com and check it out when you get a chance. All right, so let's move on to some other fun things. I love that when I get to see people and they give me little trinkets along the way. It's really kind of a fun, nice thing. I finished a sock for my son right here, and I finished this on, after I got back from Seattle. He was with me in Seattle, and he tried it on, and I think on the trip maybe I finished the heel, but he tried on the cuff, and it just was fine. It's going to fit him just fine. These are on size 1 needles. I cast on 72 stitches. I use the How I Make My Socks, my free pattern kind of recipe that's available on our Ravelry and on my blog. And he wears a size 11 shoe, so I measured his foot. I measured his foot in Seattle. That I do recall. I made him stand on a tape measure so I could measure his foot. And his sock is 11 inches from the back of the heel here to the tip of the toe. And I made an 8-inch cuff, and this one sock used 44 grams. This is the Regia Super Jacquard. Wonderful sock yarn. I really love this kind of fun, busy pattern. It's so much fun to knit. And so that's that. So I will have enough. I weighed them. I was worried because the cuff was so long and then the foot was so long, and I cast on more stitches than usual. So it's going to work. So I'm really excited. Now you may recall, or you may have seen, I think I posted on the blog and Instagram, this really great sock. Why my needle in there? This great sock I'm doing out of the Patton's Croy sock yarn that you can pick up at Michael's or Joann's. At Wisconsin Craft Market here in Madison has a great selection of that. And I did this fun chevron pattern, which looks great with these stripy socks. And this was for my son because he said he wanted some colorful kind of zigzag socks. And so I cast on 72. I found a fun, easy chevron pattern. I think it was online. I linked those a while back in a blog post, some various chevron patterns you could use. And then so I was so excited about it, and I knit, and then I had my older son try it on because he was home, and it was too tight. The thing of it is there's not much stretch. Now, I'm using the 2.5 size one. Usually I use 2.25 millimeter size one. So these are a little bit bigger, but it's still not going to work. I tried this on and it fits me. So I'm getting a new pair of chevron Patton's Croy sock yarn. Wonderful sock. That's a long sentence, I don't know. But it's for me now. And I'm sure my little TC will be stealing those because she really likes rainbows, just like me. So nothing is lost. I'll continue on with it, but my plans then changed, and that's why I started that other sock for my son, because he's so anxious to have a pair of hand-knit socks. I love it that my kids love the stripy, fun hand-knit socks that I make. It's very sweet. Okay, so kind of, I guess I was kind of referring to my trip to Seattle, and I just wanted to share briefly a couple skeins of yarn I picked up at Tolt Yarn and Wool, and that's a wonderful new shop in the Seattle area. It's actually in Carnation, Seattle. It's out like a country, beautiful scenic drive to get there. Thanks again to my friend Melissa from the my Ravelry group, Itty Bitty Knits. She took me out there on my lunch break at Vogue, and it was, half an hour drive there and back and each way, and so it was kind of rushed while I was there, but it was still well worth it because I just enjoyed it so much. But I picked up 2 skeins of wool, and I'll tell you about them. This is the Jill Draper Makes Stuff. I love that name of Jill Draper Makes Stuff. That's perfect. And it's jilldraper.com. This is the Rockwell in the Bing Cherry colorway. It's this beautiful kind of marled yarn in this deep dark red. It's probably not showing up. It's like a deep dark red, and then it has a really dark strand that it's plied with. It's 280 yards, 4 ounces, 100%. I love this. Cormo / merino crossbred Morit wool. Hand dyed with love, made from sheep to skein in the Northeast. So, who can resist that? It's like the best. So, it's like a DK weight, like a light worsted DK weight, and I don't know what I'm going to make yet, but it's going to be good. Whatever I make is going to be really good. Oh, it smells kind of farmy, which I love. So anyway, can't wait to do that. Get that on my needles. The other skein I got is very interesting. It's Swans Island. It's their 100% organic merino wool. And it's hand dyed with all natural dyes. Now, my friend Veronica, who works at Tolt Yarn and who also I got to see in Seattle when we were out there, said, when you bought that, did they tell you when you checked out, whoever checked you out, that this will bleed and run onto the color will bleed and run onto your needles and hands and also your clothes? And no one told me that, but I think it was really busy when I was there and I was kind of rushed, so that's fine. I don't mind about that, but had I known that, I probably would not have bought this skein, because I don't love that when I get dye all over my hands and my clothes and things like that, and then I just kind of worry about wearing it. So what I did, I had already bought it, and I was, on my way when I realized that this would happen. But this is a worsted weight. It's dyed with indigo, which of course I should have known that this would happen. But what I did was I washed it in cold water, and I squeezed so much dye came out. It was incredible. In fact, it's a lot lighter than it was when I bought it, which is fine. I just love it. It's kind of a denim blue, if you can see that. It's a great kind of tonal blue, which I mean, who doesn't love that? It's a wonderful color. But I washed it twice. I put a little soak in a basin and I soaked it and I squeezed it out. But my concern is that I rinsed it, I washed it, I did the whole process again, and it was still running blue water, and I think I stopped because I just got too busy, so I had to move on. So I don't know. I can maybe try washing it again. My hands were all blue after I washed it. I mean, it's really nice yarn, and I'm so intrigued with this company. I always wanted to try it, but more to come, or maybe not, on this. I don't know. So there's that. Those are some of my little trinkets. And I have to show one other thing. I had a nice, wonderful woman in one of my classes at Seattle bring me a gift, and it's so sweet when people bring you little trinkets that kind of represent their city and, you know, where they live and something that's local. And I love that so much. And this woman brought me this Sisters Baking Company, Edmonds, Washington. It's called Rain City Crunch. It's gluten-free. It was the most fantastic granola. And this bag is gone, as you can see, and I've already ordered more online. You can order it online. Oh, it's so good, and it would be a great gift. You can look up this company. It's sistersbaking.com, very simple, and then you could also email them. I don't know why my camera keeps turning off, but it does. So back to this. You can order the Rain City Crunch at orders at sistersbaking.com. Send them an email too, but you want to go on the site because it's really good. So, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I loved it. And yeah, I can't wait to get some more because that'll be really fun. All right, I want to talk a little bit. So I showed you just a little knitting. I'm doing a lot of work knitting, so I don't really have a huge amount of knitting to share today, but I have been doing some spinning, and that's been really fun. So let me share that with you today. So I did finish this gigantic skein of a woolen spun. I really tried hard to do woolen spun. You know, I'm trying to work on learning new techniques. This is a gorgeous two bats that I showed in my last podcast from Knit Spin Farm. Joanna. She has an Etsy shop. She has a podcast, Knit Spin Farm. Please Google it and pop on over. She's a blog spot. So it's Knit Spin Farm on Etsy, and it's knitspinfarm.blogspot.com. She has project bags too, and I love her project bags. So this is made of silk, silk noil, and Southdown, merino, and fin. It's black raspberry. And I had 5 ounces. I had 2 bats, and I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever spun. It's just, I mean, look at how gigantic, this is how big, it's gigantic. So I love it so much. I spun it on my artisan wheel, which is also by Infinite Twist, and it was just such a fun experience, but maybe you can see, I mean, it might be like a worsted weight, I'm thinking. I did a 2-ply, I spun each bat separately, and then I just plied them together. But the color, look at it. It's so fun and interesting. And the thing that's so great about it is that it's light as air. Oh, look at that. It's just like, oh, it's so light and bouncy and substantial. I mean, I have 340 yards. I don't know. Probably should become like a huge, big cowl. That's what I'm thinking. That'd be fun. So thank you, Joanna, for once again giving me such a great spinning experience. I'm working on 2 more of her bats right now, and then I have to share it with you while we're on this subject of Joanna and her bats, which are like art. I had to order these Raindrops on Roses bats. I ordered 2 3-ounce bats, and I can't wait to dig in. And here's the card. But they're alpaca, blue-faced luster, Corriedale, merino, sari silk, and silk. And they're gray, and then they have these beautiful colors. Well, here, let me open it up so you can see it. Oh my gosh. I don't know, can you even see? It's like that. I mean, the gray with the bright dashes of color. Oh, so beautiful. So, I mean, can you believe these bats? They're wonderful, and they're so reasonably priced. I mean, they're just like fluffy clouds. And they smell so good. So, Joanna's a big talent, and I love her stuff, so can't wait to do those too. Now, a couple things that I kind of finished, or I worked on a little bit, I should say. I had this Diabolical 180 yards. If you remember last time I showed you, I had made the shawl and the hand-spun socks out of this yarn. What I did was I took the cake that was left, and I pulled the end from the inside and the outside, and then I went through and I plied it together, so I made a 4-ply. So I have 180 yards of a 4-ply now of that same yarn. So it's a little bit heavier. It's more like a DK worsted weight yarn, probably light worsted. I mean, it was thin, that yarn on its own, but I washed it. It just hung greatly. It's perfectly even. It's not really overspun, but now I'll have one more go around with this fantastic fun yarn in a 4-ply. And I mean, I don't know if you can see some of these little pieces, but they have, I don't know, that's not really focusing, but they have great color distribution, and it's really, oh my gosh, it smells so good, like soap. And then I finished up this really old, I'm not even sure, I lost the tag on it, but I had a little bit left and I was still spinning it. I have 238s. It says it's from Cottage Garden, but I'm not sure where it's from, but that's really fun. This was a really early spin that I had, and then I had wound it off, and then I put it back on. Anyway, so it was a long story, but it's really cute and fun. I love these kind of heavier weight hand-spun yarns. They're just really fun and fast. I like the thin stuff too. In fact, on both of my wheels right now, I have some really fine thin yarn going, because I think I want to do some more socks out of hand-spun. So anyway, that's just kind of fun. I wanted to show you that little burst of color. I'm hoping soon we'll have some bursts of color just like this outside, but we don't. I can see the grass at my windows out here. I can see the grass right now, so it's giving me hope. I had someone ask me about Diabolical, and I think they were referring to this yarn that I had showed the socks and the shawl in last time I did a video. And she asked me about the Themyscira from Diabolical, and this was not the Themyscira. This was the fiber I got from the Themyscira, and then I made a pair of Waiting for Winter mittens in them. They're really cute, and I wear them all the time. I just love them. I did the double marl technique from Knitty Spin that you can look up, and I described briefly in another podcast, but those are them. So it's different. It's kind of funny. They almost kind of match, which is, well, not exactly, but they both have that blue stripe running through, but look how great they fit. So, no, this was a completely different spin and a different hank of yarn that I worked with. So, if anyone was wondering about the colorway on that. Now, these two skeins, these two braids that I spun together, I don't think she even named them. I think they were just a number. So I don't have that information for you. Well, that's really all I guess I want to say today. I'm going to be out at Fiberspace in Alexandria, Virginia next weekend, April 4th through 6th. I'm doing a book signing on Friday night, and then I'm teaching 3 workshops, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday morning. Then I'm flying home Sunday afternoon. And I love going out there because my brother lives in DC, so I'll get to see him for dinner on Saturday night, which I can't wait. So if you're in the area, come and say hello. If you can't sign up for a class, just stop by and say hi if you get a chance. Such a great shop. I've been there one time last spring. I was there as well. And that's about it. I hope you guys are well. Thanks for joining me. I'm kind of want to see if the iTunes will work, the subscription. And I don't know. I have a cute logo and everything, but it didn't seem to. It didn't come up on the iTunes. Like if you type in on iTunes, it comes up on Downcast, the logo and my little introduction, but it doesn't pop up on the iTunes. So I don't know why. Don't know why those things happen, but here's how I like to wear this cute little shawl. I just tie it right in the front. I love it. It's cold out. I'm just wearing a t-shirt, and it has a cute little ruffle in the back. So I love it. So it's keeping me cozy today. All right, you sweet knitters, I'll see you next time. And it's Friday here right now. I'm recording, so I hope you all have a great weekend ahead. Bye.